Hey all, welcome back to Homeschool. I am with one more interesting chapter of class 10 physics, that is magnetic effect of electric current. See, we have already covered electricity chapter in detail, yes or no? And don't forget to watch the important questions solved on electricity. You know, the video includes the variety of important models that has been appeared repeatedly in your board examinations, right? So the links about the videos are given in the description box. So go to the description and click through the links on electricity to have a complete knowledge, right? That gives you more confidence. Seriously. Fine. See, hope my videos are helping you out in this pandemic time. May you all get enough and 100% clarity and knowledge on all these topics, and may you improve your scores to the best in the board examinations. I wish you all the best. Coming to the chapter, you know, this particular chapter mainly made me to study so many things in detail, right? And I am here to share all my knowledge about so-called magnetism. You know, seriously, it is a very interesting topic. Very wonderful topic. Definitely, you know, it actually created a kind of interest and passion in me. Hope it will create for you also, right? Fine. See, before we go to the chapter, let us try to understand one thing. Whenever an electric current flows in a conductor, definitely electric current flows in a conductor, right? So imagine this is your conductor, it's a copper wire. So electric current I is flowing through this conductor. So when it flows through a conductor, you know, this electric current can generate or create three important effects. Means it can create three things. Can you be able to tell me what are the three things that an electric current can produce when it is traveling through a conductor? You know, let me mention them. It can generate heating effect. Do you all remember the word heating effect? So this heating effect we have covered in electricity chapter, right? So whenever current flows in a conductor, heat is generated. So what is the reason behind heat generation? Collisions of electrons with atoms or impurities and many things. Yes or no? Electrons, when they are flowing, they collide. When they collide, automatically heat is liberated. So that way we have seen the uses of heating effect also. Because of the heat produced, we have certain appliances in our houses, right? See, electric iron, oven, electric heater, all of them will work based on heating effect produced when current flows in a conductor. Okay. And the second effect is chemical effect. It is chemical effect. See, electricity can be a reason for chemical reaction. There are some reactions. Say if you want to break H2O into H2 plus O2. Can you be able to break H2O easily? H2O is a very stable compound, isn't it? It's very difficult to break H2O. But we can break H2O with the help of electricity. That means we are using electricity to conduct a chemical reaction, to carry out a chemical reaction. Okay, we call those reactions as electrolysis. Yes or no? We studied this in chemistry. I remember, I told you this in chemistry. We have seen this reaction in the very first chapter called Chemical Reactions and Equations, right? So, electrolysis in the sense, we are breaking some molecules with the help of electricity. So this is what we mean by chemical effect. Clear? Fine. And the final and important effect is magnetic effect. Magnetic effect. Got it? So about this magnetic effect, we are studying in a chapter. The entire things about magnetic effect are going to be covered. Clear? Understood this particular basic thing? Whenever current flows in a conductor, it produces three effects. Generates or produces, whatever you can tell, produces three effects, okay, which are beneficial to the mankind, right, in various ways. So heating effect we discussed in the first chapter, that's electricity. Chemical effect we study in chemistry. Magnetic effect we are going to study now. Clear? Fine. See, one interesting thing happened long ago. Was a small story. Try to remember this. There's a person called Hans Ørsted. Hans Ørsted. You know, he is a famous scientist. Actually, he said that whenever electricity flows in a conductor, he observed that there created a magnetic field. You know what? There's a conductor. Okay, he was doing some things about electric current. He was actually studying and he was experimenting a few things about electric current. Okay, so he has certain circuit. See, he has a battery and you know, he was doing some experiment, guys. Okay, it's a circuit. We all know current flows from positive end, a conventional current direction, isn't it? So what he observed was when current was flowing in a conductor, you know, he observed magnetic field getting generated. Okay, magnetism getting generated. How did he get to know that magnetic field got generated when current was flowing in a conductor? He got to know with the help of a compass. Do you all know what do you mean by a compass? Compass is the one which is used in case of navigation. Yes or no? If you want to know the directions, say for example, you are traveling in a sea. If you want to know, you know, in which direction you are there, whether you are there in east, west, north or south, you know, compass is helpful. Compass is the one which shows the direction. Okay, clear. So that way, you know, you will come to know the route, to which route you have to go and which route you are actually going, everything. Say in case of navigation, compass is used, right? So how does a compass look like? You know, it will have a magnetic needle, guys. Okay, so this is actually needle of a compass. You will have a direction, yes or no? Say this is north, south, east, west. Okay, so these are the directions. Always compass needle will face from, you know, south to north. It will show two directions, north and south. You know, this needle is actually a magnet. This needle is actually a magnet. So this particular compass was placed near a circuit. Accidentally, when he has set a circuit in his lab, you know, there was also a compass because he's a scientist. He would have all the instrument in his lab. Yes or no? He would have compass and he'll have so many things in his lab. Say by chance, compass was placed near a circuit. Whenever he is on the switch, okay, he is on the switch, current started flowing in the wire. The moment current reaches here, you know, he found deflection in the needle. Needle is a magnet, guys. Okay, needle got deflected. Needle's direction got changed. Needle started vibrating. Okay, so he was wondering what was happening there. Okay, say whenever current started flowing, you know, needle started vibrating. Needle is a magnet. Magnet started vibrating. Okay, that means something is getting produced when current was passing there. One magnet can attract or repel another magnet, right? Imagine you have one magnet, another magnet. You know, attraction and repulsion takes place between one magnet and another magnet. If this magnetic needle was shaking, that means there is happening some attractions and repulsions between this magnetic field and this area, right? So something is created in this area. The area where current was flowing, no, something is created around this area that is making needle to deflect here and there. Magnet is needle is a magnet. So magnet is deflecting. That means there is some magnetic field generated, he thought. Okay, so this was the invention of magnetism or magnetic field. So he concluded that whenever an electric current passes through a conductor, there generates a magnetic field. So what did he told? Whenever a current flows in a conductor, this point is a very important, flows in a conductor, magnetic field or effect is generated. Okay, that means he said that there is a connection between magnetism and electricity. What is the conclusion here? There is a connection between magnetism and electricity, right? So from there onwards, many people started studying the relationship between magnetism and electricity, right? So these 2 points are very, very basic points that everybody must understand, right? So who is the first person to tell there creates a magnetic effect when electricity flows in a conductor? It was Hans Ørsted. Okay, so what did he do in his lab? When he was working with certain circuit, okay, when current was flowing in a conductor, he started observing the deflection in the magnetic needle of a compass. There he came to know one magnet can attract or repel another magnet. If this magnetic needle was deflecting or shaking, he thought that there would have been a magnetic field created in this area. That's why it is deflecting, right? So that is how he invented, and he could tell that magnetic field is created when electric current was flowing in a circuit, and he could tell that there is a close connection between magnetic field and electricity, right? So this is the basis of a chapter. So we are going to study everything about this magnetic field, effect of this magnetic field when current was flowing in a conductor. Okay, you know where it is helpful? Have you heard of, the sound system? How does the sound system works? How does, your motor generator works? How does the calling bell works? Everything will work on this magnetic effect, right? So everything will work on this magnetism. So all of them we will discuss in a chapter. So this particular session includes the study of magnetic field. We will come to know and we will clearly understand what do you mean by magnetic field and magnetic field lines. Before we go for studying magnetic field, let us have few basic idea about magnet. We all have seen magnet, but when does a magnet attract? When does magnets repel? All of them we will study today. After that, we will go for magnetic field and magnetic field lines. That is the first topic of this chapter. Clear? How do you define a magnet here? Say magnet is any substance that attracts iron and iron containing substances. Mainly iron and iron containing substances. Okay, not only iron here, it can attract cobalt, nickel, right? So chromium, many more things. Magnet is such a substance which mainly attracts iron and also some elements like cobalt, nickel, chromium, and iron containing substances like steel, right? So such a material is called magnet. And magnets are available in many shapes, guys, right? So magnets are available in this particular shape. We actually call it as bar magnet. This is a bar magnet, and it is available in this particular shape. It is called as horseshoe magnet. Yes or no? And it is available in this shape, it's called disc magnet. Say for example, I have a bar magnet here. See, just looks like a bar magnet, not exactly a bar magnet, okay, looks like a bar magnet. And we have a disc magnet here. This is a disc magnet. Clear? So like this, magnets are available in many shapes. And you know, magnets, all magnets have two poles. This is a very important point. All magnets have two poles. Maybe you have studied all this and this is a very basic thing about a magnet. Just I am trying to refresh all of them, because knowing this is very, very important for the chapter, right? See, always it has two poles. One is called North Pole, other one is a South Pole. Any magnet, North Pole, South Pole. And in a disc magnet, you know, one side, say if this side is a North Pole, the other side would be a South Pole. Okay, so that is how poles are there in a disc magnet. Say the front side, if it is a North Pole, back side of the disc is a South Pole, right? So compulsory there are two poles. And you know, similar poles always repel each other, and dissimilar poles always attract each other. That means, say I have two bar magnets here. I have two bar magnets. Say this is a North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole. See, opposite poles always attract. So here what happens? Opposite poles. This is very important to remember. Opposite poles attract. Right? And you know, same poles always repel, North Pole, South Pole. Say if I place another bar magnet having North Pole, South Pole, say North Pole and North Pole, same poles always repel. Same poles always repel. Say this condition, you will see repulsion. Even in this condition, you will see repulsion. South, North, you know, repulsion. Same poles always repel, opposite poles always attract. Clear? So this is a very, very fundamental thing everybody must know. Say for example, you see here, you know, you see I'm bringing it close together but still repelling, right? Maybe because this pole and this pole is same. Okay, this is a North Pole and this is also a North Pole. That's why, see, it's not getting attracted. It's not getting attracted, guys. I'm trying to the core, but it's not getting attracted. It's moving far, far. But see, another pole I'll bring. Yes, attracted, isn't it? See, attracted. So, opposite poles always attract, same poles always repel. So, this is how attraction and repulsion happens between two magnets, right? Fine. So, we have learned the fundamental things about a magnet. Now, let us speak about magnetic field and magnetic field lines. See here, before we understand a magnetic field, let us see this situation. I have two magnets here. See, this is our main magnet, imagine. See, I am bringing this magnet, you know, from certain position. Say when the magnet is in this position, you have lot of distance between this magnet and this magnet, right? Say there is no attraction. At this particular distance, there is no attraction. At this particular distance also, there is no attraction. At this particular distance also, there is no attraction. But at this particular distance, you know, attraction happens suddenly. At this particular distance, say when the distance is too far, there is no attraction. But when the distance is little lesser, maybe in this region, when I bring the other magnet, the other material, automatically attraction starts. That means, say there is an area around this magnet where a magnetic force is experienced by the other substance. You know, when this guy is far away, there is no force experienced on this. There is no attraction on this. There is no repulsion or attraction experienced on this. But when it is coming to a certain area around this guy is experiencing certain force. You know, so the area around a magnet where a magnetic force, where you experience a kind of attraction or repulsion, that area around a magnet is called magnetic field. Clear, everybody? So around a magnet, there is certain area, there is certain boundary. Okay, maybe say for example, I will take a bar magnet. I am taking a bar magnet. This is a north pole, south pole. Okay, say when I bring certain material somewhere very far, there is no attraction. Okay, but when I bring the same material near, attraction or repulsion occurs. That means in this particular area, magnetic force is there. Okay, so it is a kind of boundary. It is a space or area around the magnet where magnetic force is experienced. If other material has to get attracted or repelled by this guy, means it should come to this particular region. Only then this guy feels attraction or repulsion. So such a area around the magnet where magnetic force is experienced is called magnetic field. Clear? So let us try to write the definition of magnetic field here. So what is a magnetic field? The area, very important, around a magnet where magnetic force is experienced. Force is experienced. Okay, so such a area is called magnetic field. It's a very important definition. Clear? So only when you bring the object to that particular boundary or area, attraction or repulsion occurs between magnet and the object that you are bringing. Okay, so that particular area itself is called as magnetic field. And how do you come to know that how much area is a magnetic field? How do you come to know that how much area has that magnetic field? Say if I keep a bar magnet here, say for example, maybe this much area where magnetic force is experienced. This is my imaginary line. But how much, guys? This much? Can't it be this much? Or can't it be this much area? Why only this much? How do you know that? How do you know that how much area can be called as a magnetic field? You know, to know that we can do certain experiment. Okay, if you want to know what is the boundary of magnetic field, you have to do one interesting experiment. Okay, all you have to do is, you take a plain sheet, white sheet, where you place a bar magnet. Okay, so when you place a bar magnet in a white sheet, say this much is the white sheet, we are placing a bar magnet, and in this I am spilling iron fillings. I am just pouring out or spilling, iron powder. Iron filling in the sense fine iron powder. Okay, all over this sheet I have spilled iron powder. Just after few seconds, how does the iron spillings arranged around the bar magnet? This is how iron fillings gets arranged around bar magnet. They will get arranged in a particular pattern, guys. This is how they'll get arranged in a particular pattern. Can you be able to observe a pattern that I am drawing here? Say you have spilled iron fillings all over the sheet around the bar magnet. After few seconds, your iron fillings automatically get arranged in this particular pattern. That means this much is the magnetic field. This much is the area around the magnet where we experience magnetic force. This experiment of iron fillings will actually tell how much is the magnetic field present around a particular magnet. Clear? And I will give one particular pattern here. Say this is a north pole and this is a south pole, right? Say I'm just drawing a lines, field lines. These are called field lines. Okay, this is how. Just I'm giving a particular shape. Iron fillings got arranged something in this pattern. No, I'm just indicating that in the form of lines. Something like this. These are called field lines, magnetic field lines. So magnetic field lines represent magnetic field. They will actually tell to a people that how much is the magnetic field or the magnetic force present around this particular magnet. Okay, so around the bar magnet, these are the magnetic field lines, guys. Clear, everybody? So what do you mean by magnetic field lines? Magnetic field lines, this is also very important, very important point. Magnetic field lines represent magnetic field. They represent magnetic field, guys. Okay, just to the people I am telling that magnetic field around this bar magnet is something like this. Okay, so how can I draw these magnetic field lines? Just by looking at the experiment. When I spilled the iron fillings around this magnet, automatically my iron pieces arranged in a particular pattern, right? That pattern I am showing in the form of lines. So such a lines we call it as magnetic field lines. Very simple. You know, and let us see an experiment how iron fillings gets arranged themselves around the bar magnet. Okay, so let us see a visual so that you will understand better.
See, here is the experiment where we use iron fillings to detect the magnetic field around the bar magnet. You have to take a white sheet where spread the iron powder. Iron fillings is nothing but iron powder. Okay, so you have to spread the iron powder around a bar magnet. You just observe how iron fillings are getting arranged themselves. See, they will arrange themselves in a particular pattern. See, you can observe a pattern, right? See, the way iron powder is coming and getting arranged a particular pattern, right? See, this much is the magnetic field that is there around this bar magnet. That means this is the area around a bar magnet where we experience magnetic force. Magnetic repulsion or magnetic attraction can be experienced when an object is placed in this particular area, right? So this is what the iron fillings experiment, guys. And you know, this pattern of arrangement of iron powder can be drawn with the help of lines. That's what we call magnetic field lines. Clear? So a very simple experiment to show the magnetic field around a magnet, or you know, magnetic field lines also we can draw. Okay, you can observe at the poles, near the poles, you know, more iron got accumulated, right? That means magnetic field is very strong at the poles. Okay, so here is more iron. Near the magnet you have more iron. As you go far away, the iron pieces do not have a particular pattern, right? Say you have to observe this also. Near the poles, south pole or north pole, more iron powder is there. That means in this area, the power of magnetic field or the strength of magnetic field is very high. Okay, so this is the experiment to show the magnetic field around a bar magnet with the help of iron fillings.
So that was an interesting visual and experiment, isn't it? I think now you've got to know how iron fillings gets arranged in this pattern, and according to that how we can draw the field lines. Not only the iron fillings, even a compass needle also can help us to draw the field lines around a bar magnet. Can you tell me how? Say for example, this is a bar magnet which has a north pole and a south pole. Imagine here I will keep a compass. Okay, compass will have a needle, right? So one side of a needle will face to a south and other side will face to a north. You know, consider one part of a needle, maybe the south part. Okay, say when you keep a compass here, the needle starts deflecting, because the needle of the compass is a magnet and this is also a magnet, right? So definitely there would be some attraction. So for example, if you place a compass here, here is the deflection, here this only one particular pointer you consider, the north pointer. So this deflects here, so put a point here. When you keep a compass here, you know, the deflection is something here. When you put a compass here, you know, the deflection is here. When you put a compass here, the deflection is here. Okay, like that, when you join the points, okay, so you will get magnetic field lines, something like this only, right? So with the help of a deflection of a compass needle also, you can able to find out the magnetic field around a bar magnet, and you can also able to draw the magnetic field lines around it. Got to know? So let us see the visual that is there on compass needle experiment also.
See guys, here we are actually studying the magnetic field or magnetic field lines with the help of compass needle. Okay, this is a compass where you have a needle, right? It will show south and north position. This is a south pole and this is a north position in the compass needle. So this needle is also a magnet, right? So now with the help of this compass, how to draw a field lines, you know, this also let us try to see. For this, you know, you have to take a bar magnet in a plain sheet. So magnetic compass needle is what you have to take. And you know, looking at the position of a needle, we are actually marking the points. You can note down the position of blue color part, or you can note down the position of red color part. That is your wish. Okay. So here actually this guy has considered the blue color part for marking a position. Okay. So see, as I replace a compass needle, as I move a compass needle in this direction, you see the blue part of a needle is also changing its direction. So wherever it is changing its direction, I am just marking with a red dots. So observe carefully. Say compass has moved here, the needle deflected, we mark a point here. Again compass moved here, the needle slightly deflected, marked. See, as you move the compass in different direction, the needle is getting deflected. See, the blue color one. So like this, right? So now join all the points. We can join all the points. See, magnetic field lines will start moving from north pole to south pole. Actually, needles, that blue color part has moved from north pole to south pole. Okay. See, again one more line we can draw with the help of compass only. Like that, as many lines as possible we can actually draw. So this is another method of drawing magnetic field lines using a compass. Compass has a magnetic needle. So when you bring one magnet near another magnet, definitely it deflects, it repels or attracts, yes or no? So looking at the direction, we are actually marking, looking at the direction of the needle, we are marking the points and later we are joining. So when we joined, we came to know that the field lines are moving from north pole to south pole. They emerge from north pole and they will merge in south pole. Okay. So this is the experiment to draw the magnetic field lines with the help of compass needle.
So with the help of the experiments, we got to know how to find out the magnetic field, that is in how much area you can experience a magnetic force, right? And how to draw a field lines. So what are field lines, guys? They are just the representation of magnetic field. Got it? Say that means, say for example, if you bring this particular object to this particular area, this is where the magnetic field is strong, automatically this object gets attracted to the magnet. So when you keep the object here, there is no field, so the object will not get attracted to a magnet. When you keep an object here, maybe you have a chance of getting attracted to this bar magnet. Okay, when you keep a magnet here, field is there. Magnetic field lines are telling you that there is a field here, magnetic force here. So definitely the object can get attracted to a magnet, right? So knowing about a magnetic field is very important. That means around the magnet, to what extent, to what area that magnetic force is there, it's very important to know, right? So now we will study the properties of this field lines. Okay, and this particular question is very, very important for board examination. It can be asked for 3 marks. Very, very careful. Okay, so what are we going to study? Properties of or characteristics of magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines. So what is the first and important property here? You see, always magnetic field lines emerge. They start coming from north pole to south pole. You see here, outside the magnet, see these lines are the magnetic field lines which are placed outside the magnet. Okay, say what is the direction of these field lines? This is how you have to indicate, guys. So these lines, these field lines emerge. They start moving from north side to south side. Clear? So this is the first property. So field lines emerge from north pole and merge in south pole. What do you mean by merging? Merging means going or mixing. Okay, so they will start coming from north pole and they will go to the south pole. Got to know? Say something like this. If this is a bar magnet, this is a north pole, south pole. Field line will always start coming from a north. It will go to a south and it forms a continuous loop, guys. It forms a continuous loop. Okay, say field line coming from north ending to south, coming from north ending to south. It forms a continuous loop. Got to know? So this is the first property of magnetic field lines. So what is the first property? They start emerging from north and they will merge in south pole. So arrow mark you have to show properly. Say the arrow mark should be in this direction, saying that the field line is coming from north and it is merging to south. Okay, fine. Field lines inside a magnet. Field lines inside a magnet. Inside a magnet travel. This is also a very important point. Travel from south pole to north pole. South pole to north pole. Okay, so inside the magnet, how does the field lines go? Inside a magnet also magnetic force is there. No, that we will represent with the lines only. So inside a magnet, the lines will travel from south pole to north pole like this. Inside a magnet, the lines will move like this. Okay, south pole to north pole. South pole to north pole. Got to know? So this is what our second point is. And the third point is magnetic field lines. Field lines or magnetic field. Field lines is nothing but magnetic field only, right? Magnetic force only. Magnetic field is stronger at the poles. Is stronger at the poles. Okay, so you might have observed in the iron filling experiment. So at the poles you had got more powder collected, right? Say at the pole, say if this is a north pole, south pole, let me draw the magnetic field lines, outer field lines. Okay, and the inner field lines are going like this. Okay, see here at the poles, at this is the south pole, this is the north pole. At the pole you have more field lines, you will have more magnetic field. That's the reason in the iron filling experiment more iron fillings are collected at the poles. Did you observe that? Why did iron fillings got collected more at the poles? It's because at the poles you will have strong magnetic force. Okay, so the moment I keep magnet at the pole, suddenly, automatically, very quickly, this particular object gets attracted to the magnet. Okay, see, if I keep a magnet here, attraction would be there, but not too much. But if I keep a particular object here, sudden attraction you would observe. Quick attraction you would observe. Why? Because near the poles, the magnetic field strength is highest. Clear? Fine. So this is the third important property. And the fourth property is magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. Magnetic field lines never intersect. Never intersect. Intersect in the sense what? If this is a bar magnet, say this is one field, another field, something like this. See, here you had got an intersection. No, such intersections you don't find. They won't overlap with one another. Okay, they are closed continuous loops. There is no intersection. They are closed continuous loops. Okay, closed continuous loop in the sense, see, something like this. This is one loop, this is another loop, this is the third loop. Like this, they are closed continuous loops and they won't overlap with one another. They won't intersect. They won't intersect, something like this. Okay, so these are, this is another important point that you have to remember. Okay, so how many points I gave you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points are the very, very, very important points. I repeat once again. What's the first point? It's very easy. Magnetic field lines will emerge from north and they will end up in south. Okay, I made the diagram too dirty, right? Let me draw it once again neatly. Drawing field lines is also a very important thing for the board examination. They will ask it for 2 marks. Okay, so you should draw it very nicely. Emerge from north, merge in south. Emerge from north, merge in south. Okay, and inside the magnet, the field lines will move from south to north. Got it? Direction is very important. See, these lines, these are called outer field lines, these are called inner field lines. Say, outer field lines direction must always be from north to south. Inner field lines direction must always be from south to north. South to north. Okay, fine. So, field lines inside a magnet travel from south pole to north pole. Okay, field lines or magnetic field is stronger at the poles. You see, at the pole you have more field lines. That means more magnetic force or strength is observed. Yeah. And next point is magnetic field lines never intersect. They are closed loops, guys. This is one loop, this is another loop, this is third loop. They are closed loops and they won't overlap with each other and they won't intersect with each other. Right? So, that's all about the properties and characteristics of magnetic field lines. Very, very important question. Right? So, now you got to know what do you mean by magnetic field and what do you mean by magnetic field lines. So, magnetic field lines are just the representation of magnetic field. Clear? So, we got to know so many things about magnetic field and magnetic field lines in this video. So, in my next video, we will study magnetic effect due to current carrying in a straight conductor. Say, if you have a straight conductor, when a current flows, how does a magnetic effect is produced and how does a magnetic field look like? Everything about this we will study in my next video. That is the next part, the next concept in a chapter. Okay, so till then, revise the concept, and this is very, very, very interesting chapter and very, very, very interesting topic also. So carefully try to understand each and everything. Right? I think you understood the video well. Let us meet up in the next video. Till then, take care everybody, and please subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.